Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and built up a bit of an island around our iron farm, put in a little bit of a wall, put in a few iron trees around the island as well, and I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. We still have to work on the underside a little bit, but that's just going to take a bit of time and a lot of detailing. But today, I think with one of our really big farms in, it's time that we work on another one of them. Now, we could go and work on the wool farm, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do for that just yet. So instead, we're going to work on the other farm that's going to be impossible to actually hide in a building or within an island, the gold farm. Now, the gold farm is going to be a little weird because we're not even going to attempt to hide that portal. It actually sits right next to our filters for our storage, which might be a bit of a problem later. We may have to go and move it over, which might not be a bad idea. We may move this over a block or two, since we're going to have to go and redo a whole bunch of stuff with this anyway, because I want to change how we have our storage system for this and how this is going to be connecting up to the rest of the storage. Because as is right now, we basically just have one chest beneath our collection system that goes into the dropper. And I want to change that up a little bit. I want to take that chest and expand it into potentially multiple, or at least take this hopper line here. It just goes to the dispenser, send that out, filter out the swords, and get those smelting. And then the rest will all go into the storage system. So if I can stop completely breaking the farm, I think that's what we're going to focus on first, is getting that part in. If we have to move the portal, we can probably just shift it over. Actually, if we move the portal, we're going to have to move the whole island. So I'm going to work on maybe moving that over and getting this redone. This might actually be a good thing because then we can make the farm a little bit better. And then I'll be back. All right, so there we go. We now have our portal moved away from our item sorters so that we can eventually hopefully get a facade over this. And we've gone and made a few improvements down below, mostly with the collection system. But to start off, we've gone and replaced the water bucket in our on and off system with a bucket of powdered snow, which means that we've been able to move our flint and steel input all the way up to the top. That should hopefully make it a little bit easier to go and fill this thing. We do have a stack each, so we'll go and throw that in there later just to see how the system is going to work and how it's going to keep up with everything. But down below we have hopefully made it so that it can hopefully keep up with everything. We now have 2 hopper minecarts going round and round and round underneath our trident killer, which hopefully that should keep picking up everything fast enough. Those will just go into the 4 hoppers, each of which go into its own double chest, which then filters into one system that goes through 3 non-stackable item sorters, which filters all the swords into the furnaces. To be smelted, we've got a system to split up our fuel, so we only have one input for fuel. I have gone and thrown a shulker of lava buckets in there, so we have a little bit of fuel. Hopefully that's going to be enough for 1 stack of flint and steels. And then, as you can see, it all filters into 5 double chests here. Now everything does go and filter into this one double chest right here for right now, which I don't think that's going to be quite enough storage. So we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. Maybe we'll put 2 hoppers off of this going into 2 more double chests, just so we have a bit extra storage coming off of our furnaces. But the issue here is that I don't want to go too much farther down, because this is already starting to be a very, very pointy island. So we'll have to play around with that. We do still have to get the one system to send everything to the center, but that is not as important right now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to craft up this stack worth of flint and steels, toss that into the system, and do a little bit of a stress test. See if there's any more bugs that we need to iron out. Yeah, I think the storage issue is going to be a problem. So I'm going to go get those set in, and then I'll be right back. Hopefully this doesn't completely break. This should also hopefully get us plenty of gold for what we want to do. And I'm going to need quite a bit of it. And I don't know how much we actually have laying around. We don't have a sorter for it in our storage system yet, but we've got quite a few flints and steels to craft and throw through the system. So I'm going to go get these set in, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we basically just had the portal one block too far over based on our kill chamber here. And rather than rip out the kill chamber, it's much easier for us just to move the portal back a block. So, not going to be quite as accurate. To be fair, we don't really care too much about exact numbers for this thing, just so long as we're getting plenty of gold. And that way we can decorate this thing with a little bit of gold blocks. We've already swapped out the obsidian on our on and off system here with gold. Some ideas of what I want to do with that. But now we can actually turn this thing on. This thing is really loud. And no piglins are going to escape the kill chamber. So we've got a few things of flint and steel to put in. And portal run. So I'll be back once we actually have all of these used up. Alright, so that went mostly as planned. The filters sorted out the swords fairly well. We did get quite a few of them that just went straight into the chests. Right now we're filtering out all of the gold nuggets so I can go and craft those up into more ingots and blocks so we can decorate this thing. Thinking we're going to put a couple of gold trees on here. Maybe one down here. Maybe somewhere in the middle here, I'm thinking. Definitely one's on top of the portal up there. I think those should be good for our decoration up here. We don't want to put too much. Again, we want to focus mostly on the top of the portal if we're going to do anything. Just because that's going to allow us the minimal amount of space to be affected by the piglins spawning, and we don't want to put blocks in there. But other than some issues with the sorting system, it's worked pretty well. It kept up really well with the amount of stuff that we got. Didn't look like it was backlogging too much. And figure it's got 4 double chests to backlog before it'll completely backlog and stop picking stuff up. So should be pretty good. And again, we got a decent amount of stuff. Still got a lot of gold nuggets filtering through. 47 gold ingots. And yeah, we need to work on the filtering system here. Do some... Maybe I need to look up how a proper non-stackable item filter works so we can get one of those in there. That's just something I throw in based off of our usual item filters. And it's just not pulling the swords out into the furnaces quite fast enough. Maybe we need to swap those out for blast furnaces too. Get those smelting a little bit faster. But as a test and a proof of concept, this seems to be working. Again, I need to do a few more tests, maybe with those as blast furnaces, figure out the redstone, which should not be too bad. I think that is probably just about set for us to go and start turning this into an island. So we've got a few bits to go off of. Really need more scaffolding for this. Definitely thinking we're going to do another double chest. We'll keep that line of hoppers there maybe. Or something close to it. Something close to it. As our path to our Spencer. So we can do a bit of that. We'll have some stairs and slabs beneath that to block off the hoppers. But thinking that's probably going to be good on the center little bit of the island. Maybe we'll have another little space in there. Although, yeah, actually, we can do this off-center. Off-center island it is. So, we've got an island to build. Got trees to figure out. Or rather, at least an island to scaffold. So, I'm going to go probably get a bit more stone either out of our pit here or from our storage. And then I'll be back. Well, something we did learn from the iron farm. Maybe we should get the ores in here as we go. Yeah, let's go see how much gold ore we have sitting around. All right, so a little bit of work later, and we have a bit of grass and moss around the edge of our catch tray there. We got a little bit of a starving island. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of gold ore mixed in there. We actually have a lot of this from digging out this entire pit and probably some from over in Stardust Valley, since that isn't a mesa. But I've been kind of fiddling around with the gold tree here. Not entirely happy with it. I still need to go and work out some of the leaves here. I think this side kind of bulges out too much compared to the other ones. But I think it's a start. Just need to work on figuring out where we're going to put all of the glowstone for it, because I think we are going to use some glowstone for this. A few spots that need some more gold blocks just for roots and such. So we want to put that there. Going to want another root coming off going down this way, but we're going to need some space below to do that. But I think all in all, this is starting to turn out really, really well. Again, we've got a nice tree there. It's kind of wrapping around the edge of the portal. I love that. I think that part turned out good. I'm happy with the roots. It's the leaves that I'm not as happy with. I think part of it's because we decided to do a different tree type. Those ones are all a lot more like our oaks, and this one's a little bit more of a sprucey kind of tree, a little bit more bent and such. So we'll have to play around with it. Again, it's a work in progress. Maybe we'll do a little bit straighter trunk for the other one. Again, I do want one on both edges of the portal. I think that'll be good. Nothing really in the middle. I want to leave most of this empty. Again, we're not even going to try to disguise the portal. There's just no way. The iron farm, we can because it's kind of low and flat. That we can get away with. Big tall portal, no way. But again, the island I think is coming along really well. We haven't played around with the redstone yet, and we've just been trying to get the island shape in. We do need to make sure that we keep going out a little bit more on this side. Don't quite know how we're going to get this, but we clearly need to start going up quite a bit more, especially on this side. We've got 2 blocks before that moss block there from our edge of our stone there. So that's going to have to kind of go up kind of more like that shape. It's kind of hard to draw with this. Well, as this is going to be a lot flatter. But I am liking the base that we have so far. I think if we just had that and we didn't put any of our sorting stuff here, and maybe we'll take out the sorting stuff and just have all this filter into a dropper that goes into a different sorting system down below. That's an option, but I do kind of want to keep it all in one system. So I'm going to have to play around with that. Going to have to play around with the shape of our trees here. I know what I'm trying to go for. I just need to figure that out and how to get it built. I like the trunk shape, the leaves that are kind of throwing me off with that. But again, just something we're going to have to play around with. And I'll be back once we have other tree in and a bit more of the island. All right, and there we go. We now have one gold studded island supporting our gold farm. Don't quite have all of the grass and moss and such in, but we do have all the stone. Just needs a little bit of detailing. A couple things I'm not particularly happy about with the shape of the island, but I think they're mostly things that we can take care of later once we start adding in the cobblestone and the andesite and all the stairs and slabs that go into this. But this is so far looking pretty good. Again, we don't quite have all of the grass and moss in, only about half of it, because we kind of ran out of dirt. We need to go grab a bit more dirt. But we do have the second tree in. In fact, one of our scaffoldings for our bee islands to go finish up those as actually overlapping this one, and I love it. Quite sure what we're gonna do for the top. I'm thinking maybe some dandelions, and maybe we'll go get some torch flowers and grow a few of those up and scatter those about. Want something that's very much kind of gold, kind of like what we did for the Iron Island, where we put dead coral fans in it and use those as kind of little iron bushes and such. I'd want something like this, but we don't really have a whole lot of gold flowers that we can use. I mean, obviously, we can put like piles of gold or something up here, but that doesn't really fit the area all that well. But we do have 2 gold trees that are also different. The second one here I do like. I'm not too sure about the orange glass though. Put it in there originally thinking it was going to work because I wanted two colors of glass for everything. But I'm not sure the orange fits with the gold. The yellow fits perfectly. I love that. The glowstone. I like the glowstone around this thing. The shape of this one is nice. Kind of looks like a moral though. So very mushroomy, which is not what I was going for, but it works. I like it. And we do have a block down there to mark out where the next one is. I think we have enough for both of the other ones. Maybe not with all the roots. We're going to put roots on those like we do for these, which we probably should. But we've run this thing a few times. Seems like all the piglins are spawning down at the bottom, so that's not a problem. So I need to go get a bit more dirt to go and finish up that island. But unfortunately, that is about all the time we have for today. I really like how this turned out. I love how this just worked its way around the farm and worked that in. And it's not hidden, it's not covered, but it does feel like it's more than just sitting here now, which is what I was hoping to do. But with that, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what is going on in this redstone pit and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.